Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about how to use our scanner. So let's go first to open it. So we'll go up Epson Scan. That will open it up, and you can hear in the background I'm actually opening the scanner to get it ready. We'll scan a few images. And that's going to take a second to get ready. So we go here. And you can see it's set to office mode. There's different modes. I think office mode's just the easiest to use. And then we have these other things we can do. We can set the size if we like. So if you're doing a smaller image, you could do it this way. However you want to do it is fine, as long as you get the whole thing in there. I'm just going to leave it as letter. That's kind of a normal sheet of paper. Now you can choose, do you want it color, grayscale, or black and white? Even if the photo is not even if the photo is black and white, I would not suggest using black and white. You lose a lot of quality when you do that, and the photo doesn't look right. You want to do grayscale if it's black and white, and if it's color, of course, you want to do color. And I would recommend doing at least 600 DPI. If you want to be really fancy, you can do like 1200. 600 I find is quite good, even if you blow it up. One thing I want to also stress is that, DPI means dots per inch. So basically, you have more dots in that little square inch that it looks at. It's going to just make a bigger file, but it's going to be bigger quality. You can also play around with, or actually you can't play around with the orientation, which is good. But if you look at the scanner, once you open it, in the upper right-hand corner, there's like an arrow pointing down. That's where you want to put it. And it's not a big deal if you scan the wrong way the first time. You just check to make sure. And then it's up to you whether you want to mess around with previewing. A lot of times I find with these settings, it's faster just to scan. So I'm going to close the lid, and then I'm going to scan. And it brings up this, here we go. That way we don't have that infinite effect. It brings this up, and you can reset the start number if you want. You can go back down to 00001 if you like, but it's going to just add a number each time. And we want to make sure it's JPEG, and it's going to save to pictures. And you can make folders there if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the OK button, and now it's going to scan. And that's going to take a moment. Yeah, so it's going to tell us it's scanning. And see, it doesn't take a particularly long time to actually scan. It's not an onerous thing. So that's why it's not a big deal to just do it without the preview. And then we can just open it and see how we like the scan once it's actually done. There we go. And I don't know why it made it small, but there's our scan. And I was scanning a envelope. And the reason, I'm going to explain this. What's going on here is this envelope was lent to our department, and inside of it are a lot of photographs. And it's very important you keep things organized, because this envelope actually has information. And then we were basically given a big box of envelopes. And each box, each envelope had a different name on it. So for whatever reason, these were organized in a particular way, and I want to preserve that organization. So in this case, we've scanned this envelope that was full of images. So that's fantastic, and it's by this man, Michael McKenzie. And we have some wonderful information about this person, because we can look at the 4th Marines and see where they served. So let's go back to our scanner now, and I'm going to scan one of the pictures from that envelope. And I just hit the scan button. And it's going to, brought up that thing. And you can hear me shuffling in the back. I'm looking at some of these images. Because there's something I want to do momentarily with them. So there we go. There we got the second image we can check, and it scanned just fine. And you can use another program later on to crop it. Now, one thing I want to note just about these pictures is when you scan them is sometimes they have extra information on them. So let's scan one more, and then we're going to check something on the back. And while we're waiting for that to scan, it's important to say organize. Notice that I have these 3 folders marked alumni. So I'm going to create a folder, new folder, alumni, and I'm going to write Kinsey First Lieutenant envelope. So that way I can keep all the images that belong there in there. And you'll notice there's also Mac McKenzie, and I wrote that because that's what is on the envelope, and this will help us keep track. I put enough information on both envelopes. But you can see we got a nice picture here of these 3 men together. And let's flip over. Now I'm going to flip over the picture, and you can't see this, but you'll see the scan momentarily why I am scanning the back. Usually you don't have to scan the back. But it's scanning. So the key thing here is that what we want to do is we want to make sure we get images that are high quality, and we want to keep them organized. We want to know where they came from. A lot of pictures, like, so for example, this image here on its own, I mean, it's a neat image. You've got 3 GIs. I don't know who they are. I don't know where this is located. So it's an interesting image, but how do you use it when you're lacking that kind of information? And that's where it's nice to talk to the people and sometimes to be able to look at it. But let's look at this other image. This is the back. Dad on right, World War II. So that gives us a little bit more information. Now we know that this is the father and that this image was taken during World War II. So that looks a little bit to me like a woman's handwriting. So my guess is that this is the daughter, and I do know that there was a woman who gave us, or who lent us, these photos. So it's my guess that that is her dad and that she is related to him. And that's something I can find out later for sure. But that should show you scanning images is not that difficult, pretty easy stuff. The key thing, you want to just keep your scans organized, and you'll notice it says image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4. And what I can do is I can use the control button to select them all, and then I can drop them into here. And that way they will stay nice and organized.